Are you looking for the best gaming CPUs for pros, creators, and casual players? In this video, we will look at some of the 5 best gaming CPU on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Intel Core i5 to 12600K. Intel Core i5 to 12600K is the best gaming CPU overall. An Intel Core i5 to 12600K on a desk next to a keyboard and mouse. Tech specs. Launched 2021. Product collection: 12th generation CPU type. Desktop total cores: 10 total threads. 16 performance core max turbo frequency: 4.90 GHz efficient core max turbo frequency: 3.60 GHz performance core base frequency: 3.70 GHz efficient core base frequency: 2.80 GHz cache. 20 MB Intel Smart Cache Total 2 Lyra Cache. 9.5 MB processor base power. 125 watts maximum turbo power. 150 watts maximum memory size. 128 GB processor graphics. Intel UHD graphics 770 warranty. Infix 770 warranty. Intel offers a 3-year limited warranty with the Core i5 to 12600K. The 12th generation Intel Core i5 to 12600K is a fantastic mid-range option at around $300. It is an affordable CPU with decent speeds at around 3.70 GHz. Although it is the slowest option on our list. The 10-core processor combines solid speed with fast processing, using 6 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores. It's a 3-speed system that uses an LGA 1700 socket. The design incorporates hyper-threading architecture, which means you can count on the system to perform well despite demanding, power-hungry programs. It also features a signature turbo boost with new, revamped Intel UHD graphics. The 3 Lyra cache is capable of holding up to 16 MB of data for improved performance with exclusive Intel 7 architecture and incorporated microarchitecture for power efficiency. Number 2. Intel Core i9 to 12900K. Intel Core i9 to 12900K is the best high-end gaming CPU. Tech specs. Launched 2021. Product collection: 12th generation CPU type. Desktop total cores: 16 total threads. 24 max turbo frequency: 5.20 GHz efficient core max turbo frequency. 3.90 GHz performance core base frequency. 5.10 GHz performance core base frequency. 3.90 GHz efficient core base frequency. 3.90 GHz cache. 30 MB Intel Smart Cache Total 2 Lyra Cache. 14 MB processor base power. 125 watts maximum turbo power. 241 watts maximum memory size. 128 GB processor graphics. Intel UHD graphics 770. The Intel Core i9 to 12900K uses an LG, allowing for PCB installation. The 3 Lyra cache includes 30 MB of memory, which is average for the models on our list. This model features a 12th generation Intel Core i9 to 12900K desktop processor and a maximum clock speed of up to 5.2 GHz. You can experience improved 10 nm performance per watt, with the benefit of added power efficiency, thanks to integrated microarchitecture. The Intel Thread Director is able to sort and coordinate multiple workloads, so your system won't get bogged down from internal minutiae. There are a whopping 16 performance cores and 8 efficient cores for a total of 24 threads. Plus, the Intel Smart Cache enables 30 MB of storage with 600 SERIES3 motherboard capacity and a 1700 socket. This comes unlocked and with the capacity of Number 3. AMD Ryzen 5 5600G. AMD Ryzen 5 5600G is the best budget gaming CPU. An AMD Ryzen 5 5600G on a red and black background. Tech specs. Launched 2020. Product collection: AMD Ryzen processors. CPU type: desktop CPU socket. AM4 total cores. 6 total threads. 12 maximum boost clock. 4.6 GHz base clock. 3.7 GHz default TDP. 65 watts processor. CPU technology: TSMC 7nm FinFET Total 2 Lyra Cache. 3 MB Total 3 Lyra Cache. 32B warranty. The AMD Ryzen 5 5600G includes a warranty for parts that lasts 3 years. The AMD Ryzen 5 5600G is our pick for the best cheap CPU for gaming. Because of the lower price, you get slower speeds with 4.4 GHz and only a 6-core processor, using a 7nm Zen 3-core. There are 12 threads for 1080p graphics, plus 19 MB of cache storage, with a CPU socket AM4. Like the Ryzen 5 5600X, it comes unlocked for clocking with Precious Boost Overdrive to offer faster clock speed and power limits. DDR4 to 3200 is supported. The AMD Ryzen Master is a nifty addition that allows you to personalize CPU performance for a fully customized experience, but it doesn't offer the power, speed, and memory of other models. However, it's still a great option when you don't have a lot of money to spend. Number 4. AMD Ryzen 9 5950X. AMD Ryzen 9 5950X is the best performance gaming CPU. An AMD Ryzen 9 5950X on a blue background. Tech specs. Launched 2020 product collection. AMD Ryzen processors. CPU type: desktop CPU socket. AM4 total cores, 16 total threads, 32. Maximum boost clock, 4.9 GHz base clock, 3.4 GHz default TDP, 105 watts processor. CPU technology: TSMC 7nm FinFET total 2 Lyracache, 8 MB total 3 Lyracache, 64 MB warranty. A 3-year warranty is included with the purchase of the AMD Ryzen 9 5950X. The AMD Ryzen 9 5950X is the most expensive on our list, with a super-fast 16-core processor. The CPU speed operates with 4.9 GHz max boost, with a socket AM4. Because of this, it works with Psy 4.0 on X570 and B550 motherboards. 16 cores support it with 32 processing threads, the most by far of our picks, delivering AMD's elite 100+ FPS performance for today's top games. The CPU is unlocked for overclocking with 72 MB of cache and DDR3200 support. However, the cooler is not included, so an additional purchase is required, which is a pricey inconvenience, since the CPU is already expensive. Number 5. AMD Ryzen 9 7950X. AMD Ryzen 9 7950X is the best gaming CPU for overclocking. An AMD Ryzen 9 7950X on a blue background. Tech specs. Launched 2022. Product collection. AMD Ryzen processors. CPU type: desktop CPU socket. AM5 total cores, 16 total threads, 32. Maximum boost clock, 5.7 GHz base clock, 4.5 GHz default TDP, 170 watts processor. CPU technology: TSMC 7nm FinFET total 3 Lyracache, 64 MB warranty. 3 years more. Advanced PC gamers know how important it is to be able to overclock your processor to get the most power. The AMD Ryzen 9 7950X has a base clock speed of 4.5 GHz and allows you to boost it up to 5.7 GHz. Processors you can buy outside of high-end workstation units. And with a total of 16 cores and 32 threads, the 7950X gives you blazing fast speeds and tons of power to launch and run graphically intensive games. Plus, it can handle just about any program you need for video and photo editing or even 3D modeling and animating. It features integrated AMD Radeon graphics, so you can play basic games without a dedicated GPU. To get the most out of the CPU, it's best to pair it with at least a mid-tier graphics card, like an RTX 3050. You can even use this CPU with the Linux Ubuntu operating system. If you don't use a traditional Windows